Hey everybody, so this is actually take two, and what happened the first time I got into the video and it froze up on me. My computer, or my tablet here, I ran out of space, the video saved the way it was, and I had to go through and clear some stuff out. But the first 20 minutes of this, or 19 minutes or whatever, I was skipping through most of it with a bunch of not talking about the situation, because she was talking about something that had happened last week. So 20 minutes in, and we're finally to the meat and potatoes of this Mizkif thing. It's even in the title, TW. I don't know what TW means, but it's got Mizkif in it, so I know this has got to be to or about him or whatever the case is. So this is what I guess her side of this story is. It says 4 days ago. I didn't think his was that long. Maybe she put this out first and then his was a response. I don't know. Either way, his didn't make sense. I still stand behind that. You can go back and watch that video. My audio is not the greatest on it, but I'm working on things, okay? But we're gonna listen to what her side of the story is and see what she's got to say. Once again, I had just got into this part of it and it locked out on me, so I haven't really, I'm not gonna see anything I haven't already seen for the most part. I mean, you know what I mean.
Today,
I said that backwards.
I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something. Like I said, I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time. I'm gonna be doing a lot of, I guess you could say, like, fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, you know, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started,
like the present,
so that people understand what prompted me to do this today, and that it's not just on a whim or something like that.
Okay.
So, like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes.
Well, I mean, hopefully she's not, hopefully she doesn't sound like she's reading a script like Mizkif did, because he was definitely reading a script. I get taking notes, but we'll see.
The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it.
Right,
and
sure.
2 weeks ago,
I mean,
actually,
even should have done it for yourself. If
I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me.
See, you should have did it for yourself before
someone
it got
in
to
LA
that
at
point.
the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet. And I
agree.
still hold that belief to this day.
But, you
and I
know,
will hold
it's
that
the
belief
internet.
going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself.
Yes.
I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, yeah,
That's
like I
what
said, one of the
narcissists
main
do. They
reasons
keep
I
on being the way
decided
they are.
to do this stream is
He
to
does.
come out about
He does seem very narcissistic.
all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And
Don't bottle it
an
up.
honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I
Bitch move. That was a bitch move on his part.
kill animals, and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
I mean, 3 years is a long time for stuff to happen. Well, natural things could happen, or not natural things could happen. He could have done something to the rabbits for all we know in an attempt of manipulating her. Yeah. Sorry, I've already come to that conclusion because I didn't like his attitude about the thing before I even knew what her side was or seen her side. Like, watching that dude made me cringe bad.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him.
Probably, that's what stalkers do.
That this information made its way back to me, and that I've known.
You know, he was talking a whole lot about stalkers. That kind of reminds me, like, of the whole boy who cried wolf thing. Like, people, like, cheaters always suspect you of cheating, and stalkers are always going to call out, like, stalker stuff. You know, stuff like that. What else? Liars are always going to try to point out other liars, and it's all to get the attention off of themselves. So, yeah, a stalker is going to, yeah.
For months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
No. I mean...
Okay.
He did talk a lot about the animals.
So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this.
Okay.
The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Hold on. I'm also going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying.
She's got a whole folder full of screenshots.
This is
says,
what I felt comfortable using today.
Elgin Ring,
I will be running through those later.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that
screenshot.
During
it was
my
like,
statement,
see, she said that she wanted the KSM2, KMS, whatever. Y'all know what it means, I think. She said it too. Like, what are we, 5?
and I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission they all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it.
Yeah.
There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course,
makes sense.
Did.
Some people don't want to be involved publicly.
And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some...
That makes sense. I mean, if you're going through like domestic abuse, SSA abuse, I don't know what all I could say on here without having issues with YouTube. But if you're going through things like that, it's hard for people to talk about because that's a life-altering issue right there. So, I mean, there's people that go through stuff like that that don't tell their own parents, their mom, their dad, their best friend, their brother, their sister. I mean, there's people closest to them and they don't say a word about it. So for her to be friends with other streamers and we're around and don't know all the details, I mean, it means she put on a good show of hiding it, but it's, you know, it's a natural thing for people to try to hide sensitive situations like that. I mean, that totally makes sense.
Some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But
makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want there to be some kind
if they noticed, like, hey, are you okay? Like, he seems a little off, or like he seems like he's very abusive. Like, I can see where she would say, yeah, you know, this, but I can also see where she's not just going to come out and say, because maybe somebody won't believe her. They're like, oh no, Mizkif isn't like that. He wouldn't do something like that. So she probably just doesn't want, like, for instance, if you want to learn something, you go to a college where a teacher's going to teach you. A teacher doesn't come to you saying, hey, learn this. So, you know, if you want to know something, it's up to you to ask, but she's not just going to come out and say this is going on, because it's just not accepted very well.
A witch hunt, like, oh, you know, you knew and this, no. A lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything. Okay. I think she's said she lives in Austin, Texas. I don't know if she still lives there. Girl, switch to Ozarka water. Way better tasting than that junk right there. That's all that I have to get out of the way to start.
That tastes like chemicals. Get you some good water, girl.
So, this is public information. I initially
public information.
Sorry.
And he's public enemy number one right now, I think. I'm betting I'm not the only one that come to the conclusion I come to. Like, dude's story does not add up.
Okay. This is
hers ain't done yet.
Public,
we'll see.
Obviously, this part. I
yeah, if
moved
it's
in
public,
with him.
I mean, she's got receipts, whether it's public or not.
I believe it was the end of 2021. Because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas.
He mentioned something about having a space to fill, and he wanted preferably a girl who was a streamer. I remember him saying something about that, and I think I said something. I bet he wanted somebody that was pretty, which she's pretty. I bet he wanted somebody like her to, like, be in his videos to get him more attention. But like I said in the last reaction, like, dude, do you want attention from a bunch of guys, or are you trying to get attention from girls? Because usually guys try to get attention from girls, but obviously he wanted to use looks, which, I mean, all people should know this, male or female, that your looks don't last forever. So if somebody's only following you for looks and they're not following you for your personality, they're following you for the wrong reason, because looks fade. And the personality, if it's a shitty personality, guess what? Nobody wants to follow a shitty personality. I don't care how good they look.
I mean, you guys...
Or what you put in your video that looks good, which in his case would have been putting her in his videos so he could use her for thumbnails and stuff. So if he's got a shitty personality, nobody's going to follow him just because she's in the thumbnail of the video.
You know, like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything.
What is
did
the
a lot of
org?
streams together.
I'm going to have to do some chat GPT.
I mean, a lot of
What is
people
the
already know
org?
this, but I'm just going to come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022 after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the
I guess I
start of
should
the
have known
relationship
that.
because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out.
Probably
They're
like
not
a
fucking stupid.
Private clan or something.
And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details.
Right, right.
He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate, and we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like
That's
my
what
stream,
manipulators do.
my job, everything. So
They
yeah,
make you feel
besides,
good. They
it
push
being a
everybody
very
out away
codependent relationship,
so they can
the
make
start
their
of
own
it was
move.
fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was
The whole
very
internet knows
controlling
about all
over
this. It's not a secret.
what I wore, to a degree.
I do remember him saying something about being upset with the way she dressed or something, or streaming, and I was putting together that he was upset that she was doing better with views or something on her stream than he was doing on his, because he said something. I was like, dude, I think you're jealous. So was him telling her how to dress an attempt to slow her down? But isn't that what he wanted? He wanted somebody pretty like her in the house or in his circle for streaming, but now he wants to hold her back and tell her what to dress or how to dress or whatever. Like, look the way she's dressed now. She obviously doesn't dress too provocative all the time. I mean, even if she does, I mean, she's a grown person. She's a grown woman. She can dress however she wants to dress. You don't have to like it, dude.
Who I was friends with, and
I don't tell my wife how to dress. She has my opinion on things, and I'll be like, I would prefer you didn't wear it out of the house, but if you want to wear it out of the house, go for it, you know? But I'm never going to tell my wife how to dress or how to act.
even when I would stream. So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would
Snowball
be things
downhill
like, for
effect.
example,
Starts slow and
he
then
would
boom,
throw-
crashes.
he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass.
I remember him saying something about throwing water bottles and his phone, and he had an explanation for his phone, but he never had an explanation for the water bottle. But even then I was like, dude, you throw them so hard she gets a bruise? That's a little weird, dude. Like, seriously.
Bottles at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it.
I was just
And
throwing
one
it on the
time,
bed for so I can brush my
hit me
teeth.
in the
That's
eye,
what he said.
which caused me to get a black eye. But he always.
How do you throw Wow. So you got to brush your teeth, and then you decide to throw your phone at her and give her a black eye while you're brushing your teeth, because that's how hard you got to throw it to the bed. Like, how far? Oh, man.
You know, was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah,
Was she on the bed?
It's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that.
Of course you're not gonna jump to, oh, he's abusive, at first, until red flags start popping up. You're like, wait a minute, those past ones were red flags too.
And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries.
Definitely
if that makes sense.
The start of some red flags.
So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation.
Yeah, y'all are all over the internet. Obviously very public.
The cover-up allegations happened.
She says the cover-up.
I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that. See, like, what I said during that, everything.
She's got receipts that are public, I guess.
His behavior started getting a lot worse. Which,
yeah, he sounded like a little whiny bitch. I'm just going to be honest.
Very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening. But the bad behavior was ramping up. And I feel like it's so apparent. If, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time, I tried so hard to help him and be there for him, because I really
tried to help
believed in him. And I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was.
She tried to be supportive. I don't know what she means by get back on his feet. Like, what'd he do? Lose his way? But, I mean, she sounds like she was trying to be supportive.
But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about 1.5 years from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that, because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying, because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
Oh, wow.
There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped.
Once again, get you some Ozarka water.
So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff.
Because I'm just now figuring this stuff out.
So for a long time after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like,
once again, you got a shitty personality. You're not gonna do well. I mean, sorry, but that's how the cookie crumbles.
We really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense, because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. You know, it makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, you know, just special things.
She didn't want to steal his viewership. That's understandable.
A lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him.
So he was telling her when she could stream.
The first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably
like, I bet that pissed him off.
Anything, but it'll make sense in a bit.
It makes sense now. I bet it pissed him off.
I'm live. He's live. We're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips
I
of
bet
this.
she got more viewers or something, and he got all pissed
We're
off.
both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought
Because he
everyone
said
was having
that he
fun.
was jealous of people
I was
that
like, oh,
did
this
better.
is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. You know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long.
Y'all are
for
having
this,
fun, and that's what he texts. Wow.
And basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him.
Bingo! I knew it. I called it.
That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him, and like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops. Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real, but
I don't know what drops are.
yeah.
I want to look at it. What are
He
drops?
starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there.
Basically,
and,
just
by the way,
you earn stuff by watching or something.
There were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
That's what a stalker does.
I feel like that's pretty
or a
apparent,
manipulator.
at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But
now, I'm not gonna pretend to be perfect, like I've never slammed the door after being mad or something like that, but multiple times in a row or something, like, you'd have to slam the door multiple times in a row to get the lock to not work right the way, I mean, or basically break it through the frame. Like, that's like trying to pull the door through the frame while slamming. That's some intense stuff. Like, but once again, I'm not going to try to say that I'm perfect. I've never slammed a door, but I don't know. It sounds like he was trying to put on a show or get some attention or something.
anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all of you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me. And
what
like,
are they taking from
done.
you? Y'all were supposed to be having fun.
And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically
rush
saying
drops?
that
I didn't type
he
that.
hated me.
Try that.
And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And
yeah, let me play Mr. Perfect. I don't want to
stop in the bathroom
create an issue
outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream
you wanted
for a
me
couple
to
hours,
go back and act like nothing
finish the
happened. I gotta
stream,
fix my face.
do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically.
Right.
And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him.
I'm sure.
And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot
Right,
because
like, what am I gonna do
this
from
person
here?
was at the time like
This stuff ain't
kind of
working.
it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was just it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move.
Yeah,
So I was like,
obviously.
okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him. And he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And
that's some lunacy right there.
At the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die. Like threatening to kill both of us.
Wow.
And this wasn't like even necessarily
that's some manipulator shit right there.
Because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so.
Mr. Beast didn't invite me either, but guess what? I ain't mad at it.
Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
Seriously, bro? You know what I've noticed about her story so far is none of it sounds contradicting the way that his sounded contradicting. Matter of fact, hers actually makes some of the pieces fall into place better, but not make him look good.
Then at home, other things would happen. Like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that
all your fault, right? Because you were around his whole life.
And as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him.
Oh,
and mine was
we went from
better.
We can't stream at the same time to now we can't post YouTube videos.
I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value.
If my wife posted a video on YouTube and it started doing better than me, I would do all I could do to support her, and I would probably lay off of my stuff just a little bit to try to put some more energy and effort into hers to help her succeed. Because guess what? We're a team. If my wife succeeds, I succeed. If I succeed, she succeeds. So that right there is some narcissistic attitude from him for real, because he should have been like, yeah, let me share this out. Let me try to help this video do even better than it's doing right now, because we're a team and I want you to succeed, because if you succeed, I succeed.
To not be thrown away, but at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it.
Wow.
And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before.
I want to know if this chick has a personality that's like a good personality, something that you want to watch. Like, is she funny, or is she like smart, or like, I want to know what this chick is like outside of just being pretty. Like, or do people only follow her because she's pretty? Like, she doesn't seem like that. It doesn't come across like that. So I'm sure she's got something else to her personality. I don't think she would have done so well.
Or, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember
she's like a larger creator. Like, even to her, it's just like taboo.
Thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around.
That's, yeah, he hates you in spite, like, because he hates the fact that you do better, but he wants you around because he still wants like a piece of the pie. He wants to use you
for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
that's exactly, I called it.
I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Of course.
I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time.
I bet he got
of, like,
mad that she was over at another guy's house, even though that they were basically broke up.
Where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me
Stalker.
off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it. They were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just...
Even if they understood, they probably, or understood what she was trying to relay, they'd probably be like, oh, Mizkif wouldn't do that. Like, he's not like that. That's that kind of shit. She's probably worried that it would be a pointless uphill battle.
Be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined.
That
I was like,
too.
maybe it's just better for me to
keep it to
deal with
myself
this and like hope things get better.
They won't get better though. A narcissist is a manipulator, abuser,
I honestly don't even remember what
stalker.
the final straw was, that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared.
There ain't two, I was only like one or two straws in, and like, I don't know what the final straw was for her, but if she was somebody in my circle of people, I would have done knocked his teeth down his throat.
The house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the like breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still like scared and unsure.
Now, I have a daughter who in the past dealt with a guy that was very abusive, and I went to go do something about it, but I had to stop because she kept going back to it, and that would have put me in a situation where she was gonna basically, the legal things would have been filed against me as well, and she continued to make those decisions. And I basically told her, when you're ready to quit dealing with it, you let me know and I'll take care of it.
So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started like screaming at Cheddar. He was like, "Get that fucking cat out of my house." So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house.
Yeah, I would have taken care of it. I would have knocked his teeth down his throat.
Within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, "Hey, can you come tomorrow?" And they were like, "Yeah," and then I literally moved the next day.
Obviously, yeah, let's get all of this shit out of here, like, ASAP. Yeah.
Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said,
probably a mental relief.
Part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because,
of course, right.
You know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly.
You can't be cordial with
like
crazy.
For stream reasons that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming. Like
yeah,
nothing
for the
had
sake of the job.
And,
yeah,
you know,
I get that, but you can't be cordial with crazy.
At the time, I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway. So, but
you know what I say to those people? Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
After
Who cares?
I moved out,
those aren't the kind of people you want to follow to follow you anyway.
Somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and like even talk to other people.
I'm sure
and, like,
he did.
Kind of present like, oh, I want to change. I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know. There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now.
October. This is October.
And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because
I think I seen something where he said something that happened like months prior. So this stuff is just now coming out, even though it happened months and months ago, like almost a year ago. Wow, we're going on a year.
I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms, so that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk from closure.
Mm-hmm.
He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him.
I'm sure.
He, so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him.
Of course he did.
And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while.
She's probably...
I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that
But they'd previously been in a relationship, so she probably made like
I let
this
him
exception.
Hold me while I was crying.
I get it.
He started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it.
So he's making moves.
I was still sobbing a lot.
He's trying to get her whenever she's in emotional distress. Like that's a common thing that somebody like that would do.
And then, suddenly, He tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed.
Is this when he said that he was like, I wanted to make sure I didn't do anything wrong? I think this is this.
Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like.
He said something about jump, like she said, like a cat.
And
yeah, he didn't say that, but that's funny.
Okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately.
I tried to manipulate you into some sort of act here, and while you were in emotional distress, and I got caught trying to do this, so now I feel like I did something wrong.
Immediately left my house while I was still crying. Without,
I'm gonna leave you crying while I go.
Checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other
probably
streamers
afraid
around
of
us,
him.
or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure,
makes total
like
sense.
I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah, I felt like I'd cause trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still
yeah, if you care about somebody, you just don't stop overnight.
Things would get better, and that
obviously
he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would.
So he would coach. What she means by hammer into me is she would coach her. He would coach her into be like, now, this isn't the way you think it is. So if your friends ask, like, tell them that this is the way it is and not the way you think that it is. Like, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. That's some manipulator bullshit right there. This dude needs his teeth knocked down his throat. He ain't ever had nobody check him like I would check him.
Coach me and tell me to tell people.
Coach her, yeah.
Or other streamers who are asking about it.
Yeah, that's what I.
Concerned. He would say,
yep.
Tell them.
I just called it.
Make sure that they know that I never hit you.
So he did hit her. What a bitch. He ain't had nobody like me.
Around the same time.
Girl, you live in Texas. Get you some redneck friends. I guarantee you they will make sure you're taken care of.
This was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish.
I don't know how many rednecks live around Austin, but
often message
they can't be that far
in the
away.
Middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away.
Well enough.
But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And,
wow. What a total piece of shit this guy is. This makes her story makes sense so far. Like, she has not contradicted herself. The other dude, wow.
Because obviously a lot of these things, I'm not gonna fully read these out because
I'm gonna skip through to see what she's gonna show, and then I'll pause it.
To like kind of, I am planning to probably.
Oh yeah, she's gonna do it all in one, so I can pause it on all of it at one time.
Because nobody will ever like I said, you can go find the stream, but for context, I was playing Warrior.
I don't even have to
Warcraft
pause it. She left
in,
it up.
A level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay. I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you can read that
Just tell me
later, I
those. Let's
suppose,
fast forward it.
Hold on. Same streaming sphere, but I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence, like ever since that one stream where I
Where she
had
did
like
better.
a little bit more viewers than him.
Right? What a bitch.
He would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he...
No, if you're failing, it's your fault that you're failing. You can't blame your failure on anybody else but yourself. Doesn't mean that you necessarily did anything wrong. Sometimes it means you didn't do something right. But once again, you can't blame your failure. I'm not going to blame my failure on anybody else, especially my wife. I'm going to blame my failure on me. I might vent and like say something. She might take it as I'm blaming it on her, but at the end of the day, it's not her fault. It's my fault that I failed doing whatever I was doing. And I would never want her to take it in such a way where she felt like it was her fault. But I get venting, but to flat out say that something is somebody else's fault, no, dude, it's your fault that you failed.
hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other.
This dude,
he started
man.
Saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers.
I'm sure he's got beef with everybody. He's got beef with me now. I don't like this guy.
It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person.
Probably because they did better than him.
And it was just...
They probably performed way better, and he was jealous.
And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And
yeah, I'm not gonna feed into your bullshit, dude. I get it.
Come to my house if I didn't answer.
Oh yeah.
But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you live in Texas, stay strapped.
And I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme
Oh, this
time.
this dude is so cringe.
And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know,
you can't be
we
cordial
could be fine with each other. So
somebody like that.
I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships.
So what? So he could go find girls to hit on them to get his viewership streaming back up?
I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard.
That's where you should have like drew the line. Like I get it. Like you got some history a little bit there, but jeez, man, this guy is a piece of fucking shit. Should have just let him go.
And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so
storm
relieved.
Of emotions, yeah.
But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him,
You know, at first I thought she was going to sound like she's reading off a script, but she legit just used the notes. Like, you can tell that she's recounting these things from her memory. And the dude, the Mizkif, he just was reading a script. Like, and hers is, we're quite a bit into this.
During those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse,
yeah,
and just him
the
generally
cat
not
thing,
being a
that's
very
just
nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him.
Yeah.
I knew it would be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it.
You're going to lose some viewership, but not any. You're going to lose a little bit of viewership. You're going to lose people naturally, but the kind of people that you lose aren't the kind of people you want to keep around anyway.
Oh. I have not spoken to him since January of this year.
I bet he's still watching, though.
But,
10 months. Wow.
You think that's the end? It is.
That confirms it. It wasn't this October. It was a year ago October whenever this stuff started happening.
Unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And
probably because he knows you got dirt on him.
I'm just gonna show those.
He's probably trying to manipulate the situation again, make himself look good. That's what narcissists do.
And at first,
I want to fast forward. Okay, yep. Whoa. Matt.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
This is Mizkif? Is Mizkif's real name Matt? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm gonna fast forward a little more. Yeah, this is. I'm sorry, not a day has gone by. Last 4 months. Don't go, haven't echoed in my heart. Yeah, this dude. I don't buy anything he says. I didn't like the fact that his story was contradicting himself already. He's tagged you in there real. Oh, okay. Yeah. Keep going forward.
All the things that people
I feel like we're to the end of this, but
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Your text is likely human written, may include parts generated by GPT. So the yellow is ChatGPT. Wow.
Checker. And all the highlights.
That's ChatGPT,
like
all
said,
the highlighted
really
stuff. Which means probably all of it is ChatGPT.
I just thought it was interesting. But, at the time, I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him.
Obviously.
I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine
No,
going
you
to the
gotta
same events and
just,
parties and such.
you can't even cut them off of everything because you're like all over the internet. You got Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, text, email, all the things. You basically just have to ignore his ass.
I also have to start. Hold on, I'm still fucking sick.
You still drinking that shitty water? Get you some Ozarka water. I'm telling you, that or Fiji, but Ozarka, just fine.
I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication. No, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right?
Yeah.
During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Catchy and, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, give the benefit of the doubt, like, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something.
Yeah.
But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing, and then he just wanted to talk about, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next story that I want to tell involves...
Okay, the next story. I'm not interested in the next story. I think we're done with the Mizkif thing. So far, she didn't say anything that sounded like it contradicted herself. Like, I believe her and I don't believe him. I didn't believe him before I even knew that she had a part of like another side of the story out on the internet yet. Yeah, the dude, Mizkif, you a bitch. Emmy, I don't know how to say your whole name. Do better. Like, you can do way better. Like, just, you know what, do yourself for a while or something. Like, well, it sounds like you have been, but like, don't get hung up on this Miz guy. Other than that, this is just my take on it, my 2 cents, unfiltered. So I guess if y'all like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, come back for another video. I don't think I'll do any more of these. If I do, yeah, it'll be here, but I'm gonna try to find some other stuff to react to. This is crazy. I didn't expect to get into a breakup drama, but it was all over YouTube on like the For You page. So anyways, thanks for hanging out.